everybody. Good morning. Good morning, wherever you are, whatever time of day you're hearing this podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Harriet Kamek with Down to Earth, the show in which we talk about the issues that matter. And today on our show, we're going to talk about guns, the Second Amendment rights, America's infatuation or love affair with guns that kill people, guns that kill innocent bystanders, guns that kill community members, guns that kill police officers who are protecting us, guns that kill our children in schools, guns that kill our friends riding on the subway, at the bus stop, our friends who just simply have gone shopping, our friends who went out for a night to have fun and don't return. Guns, America's love affair with the bark of guns. We're going to talk about that and what happened in Jersey City overnight that caused people to die, including a police officer, a veteran of the Jersey City Police Department, died. A man, a husband, and a father with 5 children. Police officers had to arrive at his home yesterday to tell the family that Daddy won't be coming home. Not for Christmas, not for New Year's, not ever. When Daddy left yesterday morning for work, Daddy never came back home. I can't even go into what that means for anybody. So happy birthday to me, right? Today's my birthday. Thank you so much. And as a gift to myself, I went to do a mammogram yesterday. So for all of us, please check in with your health, check in with your loved ones. Ask your loved ones if they've done a mammogram lately. They start asking for mammograms today after 35. So people over 35 should start looking at doing mammograms. As a matter of fact, I tell anybody, if you feel like you feel something in your boob, no matter what age you are, go do a mammogram. But insurance is such that your health insurance company, they will not pay for a mammogram if you're under 35. Did you all know that? Isn't that the weirdest thing you've ever heard? Right? I heard one woman yesterday arguing because her insurance company would not approve a test unless she did a mammogram first, and she had to do it as a matter of procedure. Right? It's the craziest thing. So I began asking questions and learned that insurance companies don't pay for mammograms. So you have to literally pay out of pocket to check if you're okay. So you're 25 and 26, could have some cancerous tissue in your breast breeding up. But you wouldn't know until you turn 30 or 32 or 35 and boom, there you are. Suddenly you have breast cancer. Well, you could have checked that bad boy out when I was 21, right? So I really didn't plan on doing it that way, but I ended up doing a mammogram anyway. So for all of us, please be healthy. I'm asking you all to please everyone, take care of yourselves. Your health is your wealth today. I walked into a room yesterday where people were my age or older, and I felt like I was the young kid on the block. They were looking at me like, what are you doing in here? I'm like, thank you, Jesus, for health and strength, right? Thank you that I spent time taking care of my health all these years. I worked out, I ate right, I didn't smoke, I didn't drink, I didn't do drugs. I thought those things were not going to help me. So I stayed away from chemicals because I thought chemicals would harm my body as much as possible. You see what I mean? So I avoided drinking, avoided smoking, avoided substances. Doesn't mean that death isn't inevitable for everybody, right? But if I'm going to live long, I want a happy, healthy life. I want quality of life, right? I don't want to be hit by debilitating and preventable diseases like heart disease and so on. So I watch what I eat, and every now and then, I splurge a little bit, but I basically watch what I eat. I take my vitamins. That's something a lot of people don't do. You got to take your vitamins. You need minerals to renew your cells. Right? Our cells don't just multiply. You need some help. The foods don't have enough minerals in them. Take your supplements. They're called supplements for a reason. Take your supplements, right? You need your iron and you need calcium. You need calcium for your teeth, your hair, your bones to grow. You need calcium. Take your minerals, right? Take your vitamin C. You need your antioxidants to renew your cells. Take your magnesium, selenium. Come on, everybody. Take your vitamin E, your vitamin B. Come on, take your vitamins, right? So After this broadcast is done, go online and order vitamins and take your vitamins. Even if you don't take them every day, I don't take them every day. I take them every other day. Take your vitamins every other day. It will improve you. You'll be amazed. And the other thing that I do is I pray a lot. So it gives you peace in spite of everything else, right? Which is what kind of segues into what I want to talk about today, this rampant gun violence. And I know I'm going to invite a lot of conversation, because a lot of people are going to say, well, it's my Second Amendment right. But your Second Amendment right is killing the rest of us. Your Second Amendment right to bear arms, this infatuation, what are you bearing arms for? Are you in the army? Are you in law enforcement? Are you in the security forces? So why do you think you need to bear arms? And you having a gun, going out into the public, how do you use your gun to prevent an attack on me? Tell me about that. When you yourself are under attack because you too are a member of the public. Because when people are going to start shooting, they don't look for people with guns. They just pull the gun out and start. You see what I'm saying? So your right to bear arms is killing the rest of us. Because you feel that you gotta own a gun. I know a lot of people who own guns, most of whom should not own guns. They own guns because they say it's my Second Amendment right. Well, I have a lot of rights too, one of which is the 13th Amendment. I have many rights, right? But you owning your guns gives people the right, makes me unsafe. Now, I want to put this into perspective for what happened yesterday in Jersey City. It's the 10th day. Yesterday was the 10th day of December. We're in the Christmas season full throttle. So that means people are going out and shopping. It's just a regular Tuesday evening. Kids are in school. It's Tuesday. So for some Jewish worshipers, they're at synagogue praying, right? And so it was just a regular, for some Christians, it would have meant Tuesday night worship service, Tuesday night Bible study service. I kid you not. So it's just another day. It's just another Tuesday. And here people are, they were there at a Jewish market. So the gunfight started, as you might have read or watched the news, started at a cemetery. Two police officers were looking for two suspects connected to a previous murder they had been investigating. They wanted to get the guns off the streets in Jersey City. It used to be a predominantly African-American neighborhood, but Hasidic Jews began moving in. It's right across the river from Lower Manhattan, right? So a lot of Hasidic Jews moved out of Manhattan, moved out of New York, and moved into this neighborhood and kind of commanded there. So the kosher market is new, it's fairly new. It's only 3 years old. So there they are. People are shopping, right? People are going about their business. Kids are in school. Some people are going to come from work or whatever. And here comes these two individuals who had no other intention but to disrupt people's lives. And they had a shootout at the cemetery, and then they got into a rented truck that police now say had an incendiary device, which meant that it had a device that would have activated, they intended to do it. They rammed this store, right? They went into the store and they shot people in the store. They haven't described yet who those folks were, right? And shot people in the store and shot and killed a police officer. We just had a similar incident in Detroit where a police officer went to help people and got killed. So now we didn't put the guns down when we were shooting people. Now they're shooting police officers as well. So they're shooting the very people who are supposed to protect and serve, in addition to shooting innocent members of the public. Now, do you want to call that a hate crime? It sounds to me like if the people who went into the market to shoot people were not Hasidic Jews, then it's a hate crime. If they were not Jewish and they were of a different ethnicity and they went into the market to shoot, that's a hate crime. It is what it is, right? If they had an incendiary device in the truck, it is a hate crime. That means they intended to cause harm to people who don't look like them, don't sound like them, and who worship different from them. This is what I'm talking about, this infatuation with guns, that they bring the guns to every community, to everybody, because I think these people hate themselves. They hate peace, they hate love, they hate anything that is good, and so they continue to disrupt the public peace and continue to disrupt people who are living their lives out loud. They don't want to see you and I happy. They don't want to see you and I enjoying our lives or moving around or doing pretty normal things. What they want to see is people hovering in fear and people being fearful, as if being fearful makes them suddenly powerful. Well, those two suspects are dead, so we caught two perpetrators. But what about the rest of them who organized with them? Because they didn't organize in a vacuum. There are people who perhaps donate to them online. They start some kind of organization where they hate others and people give up their money. All those people should be held accountable for that police officer's death and those other innocent folks who were killed. I think it's time to start holding people accountable when these kind of mass casualties occur. This was a mass shooting because according to the definition of a mass shooting, if 4 or more people are killed, it is a mass shooting. 5 people are dead, that's a mass shooting. It's a hate crime because it took place in a traditionally Jewish, Hasidic Jewish, Orthodox, ultra-orthodox is what they call it, the Samatar people, neighborhood in Jersey City, in New Jersey. It was so violent that the governor of New Jersey was in Washington, got on a train and went right back and landed at the scene. It was so violent that everybody in Jersey ended up at the scene. They said it was like a gun battle. The police had to use a SWAT team vehicle to ram the market. And then the shooters opened fire on the police officers who had come to the aid to stop the gun violence in the community. What the hell is going on? What on earth is this all about? Are you kidding me? So the police are showing up to stop the guns. And then you're turning fire on the police. What the hell is this? Open season? Is this gunfight at the Ok Corral? Are we now America that had evolved is now America of the Wild Wild West? This is just like wild and wilder. And if we don't, I'm really just about here fed up with the conversation around these are my Second Amendment rights and I have a right to bear arms until it's your life that is taken in a gun battle. If we give everybody the right to bear arms, no wonder there's so many guns on the damn streets. No wonder guns are so accessible. And you coming to tell me about your Second Amendment rights? Are you kidding me? Your Second Amendment rights contribute to gun violence. And it's time for us to have the conversation. It's time for us to do something. I'm fed up and tired of the Republican agenda that promotes gun violence by stating that it's a Second Amendment right. Yes, Republican Party, I'm fed up with you. It's time for you to come out of the shadows and recognize that guns are killing innocent people. And you've got to stop hiding behind the Second Amendment and promoting people who are using guns to kill innocent people. Because the guns are killing people and the blood of those innocent people are on your hands. You can't wash your hands enough, Mr. Mitch McConnell and the rest of you all. Y'all need to go. Because the America you're promoting has not existed in 85 years, just in case you didn't get that memo. So all of you who are Republicans, go tell them I said so. That America that they're listening to, that hasn't happened in 85 years. When ordinary people owned a gun because, if they went out there, they might have to shoot a cow or something or a snake or something out in the fields. That America does not exist. So you're promoting gun arms and owning guns in a 21st century mindset where people are turning guns on themselves and turning guns on innocent people. Mr. Mitch McConnell, it's time for you to go. Because you don't get it and you will not get it. It's been, you're kind of 50 years late. It's been, you've been around too long. And what happens is that you're no longer thinking the Republican agenda. And the older Republicans, you're no longer thinking in present day metrics. The decisions that you are making are not present day centered. You're making decisions to apply to a society that has not existed in 50 years. And so you are encouraging people to go out and take up guns, knowing that the people who are alive today are not the people who were alive 80 years ago, who would never dream of picking up a gun and going into a shopping center and shooting people, who would never think of picking up a gun and going to schools and killing people. People today are different. Can we get present day? Can we get to the present day? Can we get to the present day when we recognize that the people who are alive today are rapacious capitalists, are rapacious killers who are armed to the teeth and are intent on killing innocent people? This is why the older section of the Republican Party needs to go totally. And I'm calling you out on your bullshit because you are killing innocent people. How many times are we going to bury innocent people? How many times are innocent children in schools going to be killed? Because you believe in the right to bear arms. That is not true today. Some of these people alive today are off their rockers, Mr. McConnell. They're totally mad and enraged. And you can't hand them a gun. They will turn the gun. So you have layers of protection. They can't get to you because you're surrounded by security all day. But what about the innocent people who have to go shopping and have to ride the subway? And they have to stop at a gas station, and they still have to go to Walmart to go shopping, and they have to go to Target and all the big box stores, and we still have to go to the malls and still want to go to the cinema. We don't have security for that. We don't have personal security, right? So all of you out there who have this infatuation with guns, especially white males, young white males and young black males, what the heck is going on in your minds that make you think that guns empower you and guns give you power? What is it? The rest of us are trying to understand that. Help me to understand your thought processes that make you feel that guns empower you, young black men and young white men. It's amazing to me. I talk so much that my earrings shook out of my ears. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh, right? But think about that. Young black men and young white men are seriously infatuated with guns. In the black community, in inner city communities, young black men pick up a gun because they feel like they have to protect themselves. The same thing young white men say. Who are you protecting yourselves from? You are the cause of the problem. You contribute to your own demise. You pick up a gun. The rest of us have problems to the kazoo. You think we don't have issues? We all have issues. But what we are not doing is picking up guns. So what is this infatuation with young Americans, black and white, who think that the way out is to walk around with a gun? They feel so powerful when they pick up a strap-on gun and pull the lever back and turn the safety off. It empowers you and makes you feel powerful. You're a loser. You're sad and a loser. And I dare say your life expectancy has just been compromised simply because of that. The minute you pick up a gun and start walking around with it, expect that your life expectancy is compromised. You become a target. I hear people all the time talking about, I want to own my gun and I have a right to own my gun. Who the hell? You live way out in the boondocks. So who are you protecting yourself from? Your husband? Your brother? Talk to me, people. I want to know. I seriously want to know. And this is the thing I don't understand, how politicians align themselves with a cause that kills young people. Why are you all still voting for these people that align themselves with a cause that kills innocent people and children? These folks at that market yesterday were innocent. Did they wake up on the 10th of December in the morning? I was on my podcast. I expected that at the end of the day, I was going to come back home and I was going to go back to my home and I was going to eat my dinner and watch what I want to watch, interact with the people whom I want to interact with. That was my expectation yesterday. Far be it from me to expect breaking news to see a gun battle. I was actually on my Instagram feed. I was scrolling through Instagram of all the lame things to do. I was just chilling at the end of the day, relaxing. And saw this. I couldn't believe it. Actually, I thought it was like a replay of something that happened, or they were showing something that happened somewhere else. I did not expect that it was a gun battle at that time of the evening. I was like, this is not true. This cannot be true. America has a problem with guns, and we're hiding behind our Second Amendment claims to continue to harness an arsenal of weaponry. A typical American home has weapons that you could not believe. This shooting took place near a school. There were 100 students in a school nearby. The shooting also took place near a synagogue where people had been praying. So we're no longer, so these folks, don't you dare call yourselves Christians. Because guess what? You are killing people who are worshiping the same God that you claim you know. We're sad. We're sad. It's a sad state of affairs, don't you think? It's really sad. We're sad. We can no longer say we're a Christian nation. Look at the things we do. We can no longer say we are good people. Look at the things that we do. You went to a shopping center where people, innocent people, they never pointed in your face and said they hated you. They never touched you. They're just going about their lives and wanting to live their lives out in the way that they think that they should. A police officer got up. He has 5 children. He's just a man who is a husband and a father. Probably didn't even kiss his wife. Probably didn't even get to kiss his children in the busyness of life. His wife, probably his toothbrush is still there. The clothes he took off from the night before still in the laundry. His coffee cup that he drank from, she probably still has it in the dishwasher. His towel that he showered with and dried off with is still there. And there are cops standing at her door to tell her her husband is not coming home. And his towel is still in the bathroom, drying from what he used that morning. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm personifying this, I'm personalizing this so you get an idea of what it means every time you stand to claim behind your Second Amendment rights. And you claim that your Second Amendment rights are what you are defending. You are defending killers who kill innocent people. Because it's not as if they're taking the guns and going into the places where people kill people. Then we could say, oh, well, heck yeah, you're getting rid of the crime. They're turning the guns on innocent people. People believe they have a right to bear arms. Look at you. Are you the army? Maybe it's time we start calling out the National Guard some more. I swear to God, the next time there's a mass shooting, we should put the whole damn thing under curfew and under martial law and call out the damn National Guard. Then when the army starts shooting, because they don't ask questions, you think the police ask questions. The army does not ask questions. They just tell you they're coming, shut the place down, and if I catch you walking, well, you're going to be target practice. And that's it. That's probably where we need to be, because this is crazy. It's Jersey City on the 10th of December. What the heck? I wanted to just, I've been counting the days since the last mass shooting, and I was really just saying, if we could just get through Christmas and New Year's, we'll be home free. I was counting the days, y'all. And I'm like, no. So that's why I woke up in the morning. Oh God, help me. I woke up in the morning and I could not sleep yesterday. I woke up from 4 o'clock and could not go back to sleep. I'm like, Lord, deliver us. Another person lost his life in America's continued fascination with guns. Is it our history that has predestined us? Is it because to conquer we had to do this? We had to take over the land and take authority over the land, and so the guns and the barking of the guns and the blood that was shed is not enough. So we wake up tomorrow. The day's not over yet. We still have a couple more days to go before Christmas, before the holidays. Is there going to be another mass shooting? Is there going to be another one? Because we still are going to hide behind our Second Amendment rights. Second Amendment rights are killing us. You ever heard that? Your rights are killing you? This is one of them. You ever hear some people say, well, I have a right to this. but it's not making sense what they have a right for. It's hurting them, but they still have a right. Well, that's what's happening to us. The people who say, well, I have my rights and I have mine. And your rights are killing me and you don't care about it, but it's time we do. It's time we all do something about it. It's crazy. It's just simply crazy. Just think about that. Somebody lost his life. A police officer lost his life. He was a human being, a father, a husband, an uncle, a friend, a neighbor. He has 5 children. All 5 children are fatherless this morning. There are no amount of words you can tell that woman this morning. There's nothing you can tell her. Do you see what I'm saying? Guns are bad everywhere, honey. Unless you're in war, guns are bad. We should not be using guns in civilian settings. If there is an act of war, that's a whole different thing. I don't know what's going on in Yemen. I'm not following it. I don't know what the story is or what's behind it. I'm talking about guns in civilian settings. So let's put that into perspective, right? Guns in civilian settings where no act of war is declared, but some folks just decide to pick up guns to go hurt innocent people, right? I'm not talking about acts of war. This is not an act. We're not at war here inside America. We might have war overseas in other places, but we're not at war with one another. But that's what it sounds like we're doing. Doesn't it? Doesn't it sound like we're at war with one another? The Republic is going askew. What has happened to the Republic? The Republic of America is upended. We're at war with one another, whether we like it or not. We don't like ourselves. We don't like what we look like. We don't like what we worship like. We don't like how we sound when we talk. We don't like what we wear in our appearance. So now we're taking up arms to enforce our beliefs. It's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Right? And we continue to do this to our demise. Yesterday was a police officer. 2 weeks ago, it was a police officer in Detroit who ran into a situation where a young man decided that he was going to shoot a whole family up because he liked the 16-year-old girl. And the family had been complaining to the police. The police officer ran into the house where this young man had the guns. And he was killed. He was used as target practice. He was shot in his neck. They buried him last Friday in Detroit. That family, that woman, that wife has to live Christmas without her husband. Those children don't have a father to help put up the Christmas tree, to take them Christmas shopping. Right? This is what guns have done.